Hello, Rob here on the Flanagan Homestead and working on Spring Hill Campground today. I closed the campground. We did open last weekend. We had a couple different groups come in. They enjoyed it and gave good reviews. But I closed down for this weekend because I have my regular job and I wanted to get some stuff done and make this better. So functionally, we're good. Cosmetically, we're not. So the toilet's working. The shower's working, the sink's working, and this is the entryway, but this is still a construction mess, and I want to make it look nicer. So today the plan is I'm hoping to take some of my big rounds off of the massive fir that's over 4 feet wide, some of them, and use them and put them as stones. My wife and I stayed at a bed and breakfast that had big log rounds that were used as the stepping stones, basically, or the steps, or the patio blocks, I should say. And we really like the look, so I'm going to see if we can get those in here. The problem that I have is I cut a lot of those into 16-inch rounds, and I don't know if I cut that in half. 8-inch rounds will be thick enough to keep from cracking and whatnot, although if I have sand and gravel packed around it, it should help hold it together. But also, and if I keep it at 16, I'd have to dig way down in the gravel here, and that's not something I'm looking forward to, especially this hard packed gravel and clay right now. And so, and I can't move those by myself. They're just too heavy. So anyway, we're gonna hopefully put a form in here, fill it with gravel, level it off, and see if we can make that work today. Okay, this is one of the thicker rounds that I had, and it's got a pretty flat side on this side and the other side. I was able to do that because I had a bigger saw with a 48-inch bar. This is about 42 inches this way across with the bark on it. I've got a 30-inch bar, so I'm not going to be able to make as clean a cut. But as soon as I take off this lip here, both of the outside edges are pretty flat, and I could use them as a walking surface. So even if I don't match up perfectly in here, I could put those sides down, and this should be able to make a good stepping stone. So I'm hoping to have about 9 inches thick. I hope that that's thick enough that as I'm moving it and placing it, setting in, that it doesn't crack, because it's with the over 40-inch diameter, it's going to have a lot of pressure lifting this and trying to put it in place. Alright, step number one on this build, I need to put retaining lumber in here to hold the gravel in, a border. So I've got a 2x6 that I'm going to use here. That's going to hold the 5/8 inch gravel in, and then I'm going to also bed the rounds in that are the stepping stones. And so that then I can fill up around the stones, so if you do, or not the stones, but the logs that I'm using as stepping stones, if you were to step off that, it'd be flat to the gravel and not just a big drop off. So I'm going to have to do a little digging here. This clay is so hard packed right now. I'm going to have to try to maneuver my excavator in here a little bit to scrape out some of this so I can get it down and level. I've got the form here on the left. I've decided I don't need one on the right because it naturally slopes up, and this board is going to keep the gravel from just sloughing off the hillside. The natural slope is going to keep the gravel in up there. But now I need to dig down, because I'm going to put a big round here, and I want the top of it to be right here on this board. And the rounds, some of them are 10 inches thick or so. So I need to get 11 inches down so I can put at least a little bed of gravel in there, flop the round of wood in there, and then go from there. So we're going to scrape some with the excavator. Okay, I'm going to grab the rounds out of my pickup with the excavator and try to set them in place. This could get tricky. I have placed many pavers where I've had a sand or a gravel bed and I leveled it off and all the pavers were exactly 2 inches thick or 1.5 inches or whatever they were. And then you just set it on that and it was there. But this has an uneven back edge. So I'm going to place it on this bare dirt. Hopefully, now that I've cut the round in half, it's not too heavy that I can't at least pry up one end with a shovel and slide more, as I get the elevation I want, slide more gravel underneath there and hold the elevation I want. But this might go easy. This might be a lot more work than I was hoping for. I've got this edge right up to the top of the board where I want. That's perfect. I'll have to do some shaping and or some tilting, but I think it's going to be a pretty good step here. I want to get the bark off now before we get too far. Alright, I have my two pavers basically in place. They're approximately 42 inches across. I did make the mistake of scraping the bat on my board bat siding and splitting that. That'll be a quick repair that I'll have to do. And at this point in time, I'm going to start leveling. I'm going to do the long, slow process of probably prying up one side. I can tell that side's slightly low with a shovel, getting some gravel underneath there, and then kind of leveling things out, smoothing it out, and then dropping gravel up on top of it and around it so that all this area, the space in between, is filled with gravel, so it's a smooth walking surface. I took some wood wedges and wedged them underneath the logs until I got everything level, and then I started putting gravel on and then shoveling it underneath and above and around until everything was level and packed in there nice and strong. There you go, mission accomplished. I have my two rounds of old growth fir. They're 42 inches in diameter, placed in there as basically paver stones. One thing that I am noticing though is, you know, I'm getting a lot of compliments on the doors that I built. People that have come up here and looked at them and they've really enjoyed them. But I have the bathroom door, you know, the shower door on that side and the access door to the storage on the other side that all look really nice that I built. And I didn't build a door for this. This is just a walk-in area, covered area for a sink and power, but it doesn't have a door. And as much as it doesn't have a need for the door for privacy and security, it just kind of kills the look of this whole thing when you're having the board and bat and the rough sawn lumber doors and everything, rustic doors. So I think I'm not in a hurry to do it because I've got other things that are in a priority. But I think I'm going to have to build another door for this sink area, and then it'll just dress this up and make it look really nice. So thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching including horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects like this are my passion. Hope to see you again soon, everybody. Be blessed.